Oh, 6 years. It has been 6 goddamn mofo years since the founding of All Elite Wrestling. What began from a simple tweet turned into an epic comeback for the industry from the monopoly status we were in, where there was one top king and all the commoners couldn't do a thing about it. Sadly, it took a billionaire to topple another billionaire and a whole bunch of scandals to occur for anything to change for the other place, but that's a completely different set of topics that if I go into, I will go insane. But we're talking about a special event that happened on the first day of the year of 2025, and this is the official video start of NRE 10 years of NRE, all compiled into one epic event. Year-long crossover event between NRE The Wrestleverse and NRE Universe. And maybe Omni Gaming coming back, but we'll see about that. Oh man, Fight for the Fallen was the big charity event that had been kind of gone for a little bit. Sadly, they didn't bring back its more fun logo that I liked. Instead, went for the more staticky kind of logo and more text-based instead of the more holiday, this more fist symbol and all that. I kind of miss those more detailed layered logos. But yeah. To end World's End, Jon Moxley retained the AEW World Championship, aka the AEW belt in the briefcase, from the wrath of Hangman, Orange Cassidy, and Jay Whitehall, leading to the return of Adam Copeland and FTR, ready to take their vengeance with Adam Copeland returning to injury. He's actually been clear for 3 months. At least there was a plan in place. Yeah, apparently Adam Copeland's been cleared for 3 months after his big injury when he was fighting Malachi Black in what could be described as one of the brutal cage matches I've seen in a long time, especially for a veteran of his age, doing insane movesets like he's Bret Hitman Hart. Oh man. And it would lead into 2025 with Rated FTR, which is the successor to CMFTR, more or less, because FTR seems to be all about hanging out with the old legends of the old folk home and kicking ass and taking names. And it would also lead to them fighting the Death Riders, specifically Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli and Will Yuta. Now you're probably wondering, where the heck is Pac? Well, apparently according to reports, he is currently at home. Why? I do not know. He's currently on leave. He's on break or something. I don't know exactly what's going on. But yeah, Pac is on leave, so no more of his shirtless, possibly nudist lifestyle partially being exposed to the world. I mentioned that on AEW. They were stunned I went there. And I was like, are we really that stunned? I'm like, ever since Bryan Danielson joined AEW, every wrestler seems to be exposing a rather key horniness they're having, which has been both hilarious and terrifying. And I just said, oh, Pac's probably just trying to showcase subtle imagery, well, not really subtle, that he's secretly a nudist. And he can only display that as best he can by being half naked in his wrestling gear in the freaking cold temperatures. That, or he's using his Boston energy to emanate heat from his body in order to starve off the cold and make it fear him. Really, anything's possible at this point. But yeah, so Pac's gone for now. I hope to see him again soon down the road, hopefully. And hopefully in much, much better clothing. But Fight for the Fallen was coming, and it would be once again be the Dynamite special charity event, hooray, to help all the victims of what's been going on with the whole hurricane disasters. But another thing is that this event is very special for AEW, especially because this is the beginning of AEW on simulcasting with Max. Yes! David Zaslav then later deplatformed Teen Titans and a whole bunch of other shows like Static Shock because he hates you. But, yeah. So, opening the show was Hangman Adam Page versus Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, who are currently at odds with each other after the defense of World's End, where Hangman screwed Orange Cassidy out of reclaiming the AEW Championship from the Death Riders, as they're now called, no longer Blackpool Combat Club. And also, I keep hearing people, and now people are trying to compare them to the NWO, and I'm just like, really? The NWO? We're talking about the Bloodline, right? Because that's something that you can make the argument about. Like, besides not the overexpansion, but how long it's been. They've been doing the saga with the Bloodline and how long the NWO lasted. I think the Bloodline's actually been longer now. That's depressing to think about. And they still have 3 more freaking years outlined for the Bloodline. But yeah, Hangman Adam Page and Orange Cassidy went at it, and Hangman is really showing his I'm done phase, because he is... Okay, so basically, think of it as Bryan Danielson and Hangman's moments together, where Hangman does his zags, Bryan does his zigs. When Bryan was doing his I don't give a damn mode in WWE after he had retired and was doing everything he can to get back or get released, where he just did everything that WWE didn't like to hear, but they were stuck in a position where they're like, okay, do we go ahead and release him and potentially let someone else make money off of his return, or do we just let him say whatever he wants on a show that no one will watch, just so long as it's not on network television? Because let's be real, the Flat Earth comment would have been a clear firing offense if this was said on live television in front of the entire viewing world. So whereas Bryan was just saying anything and everything to piss people off, Hangman is instead just beating everyone up. Because Swerve really broke him. So yeah, Hangman continues his heel run as the fallen hero, the tragedy of Hangman Adam Page. We thought not, it was a Sith legend or something like that. And he took on Orange Cassidy in a pretty good opening contest, and it ended with Hangman winning, but oh god. I watched this on Max. This is the first full AEW show I've watched for nearly a year now. So, yeah. Yeah, I was glad I was off on January 1st. And I have Max, so... Unfortunately, I want to give this out heading into 8 minutes and 30 seconds into this video. Tragically... Max does not come with the commercial-free cut. The whole purpose I was hoping for Max was that it would provide an incentive to have commercial-free on the Max app, whereas TBS and TNT could keep the commercial cuts. So the international market is still laughing at us. Shake my fist at the clouds. God, I'm old. I'll be 30 this year. So yeah, Hangman and Orange Cassidy had a pretty thrilling contest. It was a good way to start the show, with the main character of AEW going up against the grand hero of AEW, also known as the guy who's like, up, and then everyone goes wild for him, which I'll give credit. Like, even Tony Khan was like looking at him and being like, I don't know about this guy, and the Young Bucks had to take hours and probably weeks to convince him that we gotta get this man we need to put investment on this man. So basically, So basically, the Young Bucks confirm they destroy the narrative that TK just takes everything and anything on their side, so long as it's coming from the Bucks. So throw that out the window. But they were at least right on Orange Cassidy's part. Then they wanted to job to the Outrunners in a squash match, so they at least are willing to put those guys over. Now, I wish that they could just have worked out certain issues with a certain Punk. I would have preferred that storyline. Damn it. You see, I can't really talk about the Bucks anymore without correlating it with CM Punk because of all the drama that happened, as much as I've tried to move on. But it's just so frustrating to deal with this, because the Young Bucks have now talked about Punk since the fiasco with releasing the air footage of you know, the incident All In. But Punk, however, can't seem to let go of his hatred for Hangman Page, I think, where he goes ahead and confusingly makes insults saying it's stupid to call things a moveset, which is like, there's like 100 different things I get to say, like, it's a repertoire, a move set, a list of stuff you do regularly in your move set, a wrestling hold, like Punk has a move set. Like, you don't think those teases they did back when AEW didn't announce it for First Dance weren't a move set he was doing on occasion, or promos he was cutting, like, and create a superstar where you create a move set? It's just annoying, and I just need to get that off my chest. Good. That was so stupid, I feel. But yeah, back to Hangman and his piss power moveset. Hangman defeated Orange Cassidy and then proceeded to violently beat him up because he has to. And Christopher Daniels tries to come in and save the day, right? Because he's the acting director of AEW, even though Tony Khan's been back for months now. Why are you still here for, though? But yeah, after Hangman had dropped Orange Cassidy twice with a dead eye, twice, I must stress, Christopher Daniels tried to come in, try to save Hangman from his darkness. He tried back a few weeks back during the before World's End, where he tried to convince Hangman there's still good in him, essentially. He's basically being the Ahsoka Tano to Hangman's Darth Vader, where he's like, there's still good in you, man. There's still good in you. I still believe in you. I won't leave you, man. Not this time. And whatnot. And Hangman's just like, you will die. And proceeds to beat the living crap out of him. And then it was revealed on Collision that after Hangman had a huge confrontation with Christopher Daniels after Dynamite's showcasing performance, Hangman insulted his legacy, his career, and how little impact he's made, according to him. And after being bitch slapped in the face, Hangman got his ass kicked. So it looks like Christopher Daniels is getting out of retirement and coming back into the field to teach that young whippersnapper a lesson. So there you have it on that. The death of the outlaw cowboy versus the fallen angel. Oh man. So the Hurt Syndicate versus the Acclaimed, who have been having issues lately. Where did you think this was gonna go? Like, Matt Caster has really riled people up with his raps nowadays. Like, he can't seem to make anything creative without being royally edgelord and mental health talk and all that stuff. And it seems like AEW's gonna turn that into a storyline of sorts, with Anthony Bowens being like, oh my god. And then everyone got there, and then the Hurt Syndicate put the hurt on the Acclaimed, and drama ensued, and no one cared after that, and everyone was cheering for the destruction of the Acclaimed, even with the drama going on. Oh, man. Yeah, yeah, Anthony Bowens, yeah, he's done. It's looking like he's done. OG Tag Team going out of business. Oh well, it was nice while it lasted until it got really annoying. And then we get the returning Julia Hart taking on Jamie Hayter. Both back from very devastating injuries. Jamie Hayter's been back since All In. During the pre-show, she came back, kicked Saraya in her group's ass, more or less, and subsequently dominated the fight after that feud. And people were mad about Jamie Hayter coming back and, you know, not doing what she was doing previously, which made me go, yeah, she just came back from a near career-ending injury. Of course, they should take it slow in bringing her back into the fold before making her throw her into the deep end. Like, not everyone can be a John Cena, pull off a miracle working tactic of coming back out of nowhere and then be thrust into the main event scene, no problems, no questions asked. But yeah, Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart had a pretty good showing. They had a pretty good showing. I was hoping it'd be a little bit longer. I feel like they were just starting to get their groove in near the end, and then it just ended with Julia Hart picking up the win. And after that, Rainmaker Okada has a message for Kenny Omega, which led to, because at Will's End, the god of pro wrestling had returned to us. He has come to bask us in his glory. And no, not Keith Lee. He's currently slimming down ever since his health recovery stuff and physical recovery has been going on. So good. I'm glad he's in good spirits. King, if you're seeing this, I'm not letting it go. So, yeah, after Okada won the Continental Classic, or the C2, Omega returned, presented him with the Continental belt, and they had a stare down with the not so obvious sign, definitely not so obvious sign, that they're going to have their legendary rematch, round 5, at All In, Texas. Definitely not doing it there. Right? And then Omega then after back to Japan to go ahead and have his big match because he's a workaholic even after nearly dying from diverticulitis. And he's insane, so that's to be expected. And Okada decided to cut a promo saying, "I proved I'm the best tournament wrestler alive, Will Ospreay. Little brother, nice try. Kenny. How many times do I have to beat you? So stay out of my business." Bing. And once again, I'm just like, oh god. Like, I know that's becoming his new catchphrase now. But it's just like, it's just so refreshing for Okada to have more of a personality being this loony heel, as opposed to being virtually what New Japan wanted, a walking golden ticket on with boots on him, a walking belt with boots, which, don't get me wrong, the Rainmaker was a great persona, but it was like eventually it got stale, and it's like, okay, Rainmaker, can we get a personality? Can we get a promo? Can we get anything that doesn't involve him just saying, I'm the best? Can we have him like curse? Can we have him dress funny? Like that psychological breakdown he had when he lost his 2-year reign. Like that was memorable. And then they reverted back after his feud with Jay White ended. And now AEW is like, fine, I guess I'll do it myself. You're not Thanos, Tony. Oh, man. But yeah, looks like we're getting Okada versus Omega, round 5. Looking forward to that. Oh, and the CEO, Mercedes Moné, came out and addressed her, and talked about her year 2024 and how she looks forward to Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty and taking more belts, such as the Rev Pro Women's Championship, which she did succeed in doing, so she's now Moné 4 belts. And I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega's looking at her and being like, should I go ahead and approve of intergender wrestling. Kenny, you're not a woman. Oh. Well, we hated the Ellsworth idea. No, we're not doing the insane stuff with you. You can do that. You did that already in Japan. Let's move on. I'm like, besides Kota Ibushi coming down with it in a bicycle. That was hilarious. So yeah, Moné cut a promo, and it was like, cue the obligatory Moné promo, moving on. And then we got a surprising last-minute addition match to the show. A three-way match for the number one spot in the Casino Gauntlet match that happens the week after this Fight for the Fallen event. Swerve Strickland, Roderick Strong, and Switchblade Jay Whitehall. And when I heard this, I was ecstatic because I was like, these are three great talented wrestlers, and all of them have been champion. One's been a world champion, one has been trios champ, and the other has been international champ. And those were good runs. So to see these three go at it was like, oh boy, this should probably be best match of the night. Well, besides the main event. And it was the second best match of the night in my honest opinion. Opinion is the correct word. And then it got ballistically crazy. You see, at World's End, Swerve did something kind of forbidden. He ordered the crowd to throw toilet paper at a guy. Ever since the Hammerstein Ballroom match event where Ricochet was being thrown toilet paper from the crowd because Hammerstein hates his guts, he got thrown toilet paper again at World's End, and he did not like that at all after losing to Okada, which was a great match. I'll just say that right now. And subsequently, Ricochet wasn't happy and took his vengeance in the most obvious way possible because Ricochet is doing something both positive and negative. He has developed something forbidden, something that has not been seen in eons. He has developed a personality. My God. But this personality is not what we had hoped. It wasn't being a jerk just for the sake of it. No. His personality is that he is now no longer Ricochet. He is now Andrew Tate II. Yeah, for some reason he's been liking Andrew Tate stuff and retweeting his post on Twitter from what I've gathered. He's also been talking posts with trash talking fans because that's a great idea every single time. And I'm pretty sure at this point, Tony Khan's going to try and convince him to go to Blue Sky, and then they'll do what they did to Andrew Tate and kick him out within a day. So thus I can cue my Deadpool getting thrown out of the universe by the Calvarine. The legends are true. And in order to emphasize this transformation, Rico Tate decided to inflict his vengeance upon Swerve with a pair of golden scissors. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then Jay Whitehall steals the victory on Roderick Strong and gets the victory, thus securing his spot in the gauntlet. And after Roderick Strong was taken out, Swerve was taken out as well. Rico Tate decided to go ahead and enforce his masculine macho manliness by stabbing Swerve repeatedly in the forehead, bleeding him profusely like he's a busted faucet that won't stop spraying water everywhere. Prince Nana, now where is he at? Basically, he does what he always does for comedic effect. He basically goes ahead and says, "I will save you," and then gets his ass kicked. Though it took him after Ricochet dropped the scissors. You see, he was going to try and make the save, but Rico Tate threatened to impale him with the scissors. So Prince Nana was like, okay, look, there's a lot of things I'll die for Swerve for, but definitely not through being my arteries sliced up. So Swerve, you're on your own on that one. But I'll definitely try to save you and get my ass kicked for it when he gets the steel chair. He then got the steel chair, and Swerve, because he needs to emphasize his macho-ness, decides to dress in an all-white clothing in order to emphasize the blood, because he's insane. Because it seems like ever since the events of Wrestle Dream, which I once again turned into an absolute nightmare in a previous video, it seems like everyone is forcing themselves to evolve in the most darkest of ways possible. Like, let's see, Ricochet went from being the fun-loving, energetic, badass superhero character to a complete another psychopath. And Swerve is basically the man on his own with Prince Nana, and then they both get their asses kicked by Ricochet, or whatever. And then, after being beaten mercilessly within an inch of his life, who shall show up to save the day like they're John Cena? Yeah, I just gotta say this. This is John Cena level of we saved the day moment here, because it's like, where the hell were you guys? You keep claiming you're good guys, but when the situation calls for it, people and your buddy also is out there potentially in harm's way, you're like, So Kyle, got any plans this weekend? Nah, I'm not sure. Turns out I might actually be going crazy. Dude, we've been saying that for the last year now since you came back. You look like you went ahead and had a sleeping. You couldn't sleep. You look like you were going through a cannibalistic phase, or drugs. But I'm pretty sure cannibalism is your next step. Oh yeah, that's right. You think we should go out there and at least help Roderick because he could be in harm's way? Nah, Ricochet is only after Swerve. I'm sure he's fine. But we should just go out there just to be safe. Let's go. So, the Undisputed Kingdom come out to save, metaphorically speaking, the day and check on Swerve while Roderick Strong tries to get medical help. I call it the John Cena hair syndrome because let's be real, that's what John Cena did all the time when he was the top guy, where he's always talking about I'm the hero, I'm the savior, I'm the Superman and all that. Only whenever someone he's feuding with is suddenly attacking another person and he doesn't come out at all to save the day, like he keeps touting that he is. Proving once and for all, he is not a good guy. He's not a bad guy either. He's not Superman, definitely. He's just... I can't even say hypocrite, because he would have to do something hypocritical. An ass? He's just that. This is his last year as a wrestling guy, so we'll see where that goes. But, following that bloodfest we got, because Blood and Guts is nowhere near far away enough, Alex Marvez tries to get an interview with Jay Lethal, Sean Judah, and Satnam Singh about the status of Jeff Jarrett, because Jeff Jarrett teasing retirement and all that. And then he walked onto the scene, and yeah, and then Karen Jarrett, aka Karen Angle, aka Karen, really bad time to get, looking back, probably not the best thing to give her given what happened so far during the 20s, or the burning 20s, or the depressing 20s, or anything really, but ever since the COVID days happened, the word Karen is now basically getting offended by everything and making up some crazy conspiracy about it. But at least we got funny videos out of that era. So they go ahead and talk about how her love for Jarrett and how their love together is unbreakable as she hands him the wrestling boots. And then Mariah May cut a promo about the women's division. And then the last outlaw, Jeff Jarrett, made his big announcement. He has signed one last full-time wrestling contract with AEW and has vowed vowed to go out he has vowed to go out fighting, go out slinging. The old gunslinger, he's going out swinging, and has declared he wants gold. Yes, he wants gold, not just a piece of gold. He wants the gold. He wants the AEW World Championship. Okay, let's be real. When I first saw that promo, I was like, okay, he wants gold. Like, I'm pretty sure he can do well. You know what? What could he be? Like, it can't be Konosuke Takeshita. He's too busy being the international champion, and he's now double champ. TNT champion? Wait, now that I think about it, when was the last time we saw... Oh, yeah, Daniel Garcia's the champ. I keep forgetting that. Oh, man, he's probably going to be the odd one out. But, like, when I heard he was making this announcement, he wants to go out to the championship, that he said the World Championship, I was like... No. Look, man, I know you said you don't want tag titles like you did with Sting, because then we'd be repeating the Sting retirement moment, but... Come on, man. Can we aim for a little bit more realism? Like, the TNT Championship? Like, that match has been defended in violent gimmick matches, like ladder matches, dog collar matches, chain matches. And they were insane. For a network specialized championship. How about we settle for that instead of going after the Death Riders? Because that's a death sentence waiting to happen. So that is going to lead to a funny moment where Karen Jarrett does the kaboom on, or the acoustic equalizer as it's also called, on Maria Shafir with the briefcase. Though, if Maria Shafir does it, when Karen is launching her acoustic equalizer at her, Maria should go ahead and have the briefcase raised up as a shield and just... Yeah. Probably asking too much, but I'm pretty sure people will pop if they go ahead and have her get clocked by a guitar. Though, also they did cheer when Jay White switchblade her, so blade run her, so that was funny. And then Hook has issued a challenge for Christian Cage for the upcoming AEW Dynamite special, Maximum Carnage. Which, I'm just gonna say, I said this. If they do not have Darby, they don't have Sting or Abaddon come out, dress up as Carnage in red black makeup, I will Skype on Blue Sky my displeasure. Because let's be real, everyone's making for that. Like, they can go ahead and say Moxley's Carnage because, he's delivering maximum carnage. But come on, we need at least some reference to the actual comic. Though it would be weird considering that they're on a wrestling program that is they're making a show after a comic book event that was written by Marvel, who is owned by Disney, who are competitors to Warner Brothers, who own DC. So I'm kind of surprised they let that through. Then we get Powerhouse Hobb taking out two jobbers. I thought that was going to lead to Now, when I first heard this, when I found this out, I was like, there was a prior report by Tony Khan teasing that a certain Ricky Starks was coming back. I thought this was going to be the moment he comes back. No, he doesn't come back at all. Why even tease that man? Why are you giving me hope? And then they do another segment with Alex Marvez meeting with the Learning Tree group led by Chris Jericho, who is not at the show tonight. And then Rated FTR show up. Oh god, we're gonna get the Jericho Vortex feud with Rated FTR versus the Learning Tree. It's going to lead to Adam Copeland somehow becoming world champion of Ring of Honor, which will be the most weirdest moment yet. Probably. And they made fun of Big Bill's face. Okay. That's a thing we just established in 2025. Adam Copeland has been has gone for face mocking. Okay. But they have made the challenge that it will be the Learning Tree versus Red FTR for Collision. So, watch that. And then after World's End, a video promo was aired with MJF talking about his plans for 2025. Now that he has the Diamond Ring secure and his vengeance on Adam Cole completed, he now has a new mission. What is a king to a god? That's right. He is going after the Death Rider himself, the master of manipulation, the architecture of destruction, the bullet and the gun, Jon Moxley. Your fear is understandable. Which means I'm hoping that Jon Moxley takes a quote from Vegeta from Team 4 Stars universe and says, "What is a god to a non-believer?" Yeah! And then Moxley proceeds to kick MJF's ass all over the arena, which will be hilarious if that happens. And then we get our big main event. It was awesome. And and this fulfills the prophecy that Edge had, that Adam Copeland. I'll get to that in about a second about Adam Copeland. But this fulfills the ancient prophecy that began all the way back in 2013. Adam Copeland has begun his revenge. Has had the final steps of his revenge tour. First he fought Seth Rollins, then he fought Roman Reigns, and fought Roman Reigns again. Wait, he fought Roman Reigns first, then Seth Rollins, and now it goes to the main event, Jon Moxley. For Adam Copeland, no longer will he call himself Adam Copeland. Now, he is now not only Adam Copeland, he is no longer Edge even. He is now Cope. Wait, we're really doing this? Oh, for God's sakes. Like, I heard that and I was like, oh, this is clearly part of Edge's master plan to make merchandise saying Cope, Steve Mall, and he's going to eventually transition his character into an internet whiny jerk, and he's going to just tell everyone to Cope, see, and Mall over, oh, I'm sorry, were you all mad that I went ahead and won the ROH Championship? Cope about it and all that. And then we're gonna get Colt Cabana, and then we're gonna get Cope versus Colt, and then it's gonna lead to hilarity, and I'm hoping it's a good one. For I'm on hopium. We are in no ma'am. We are so fucked. But yeah, insane 6-man tag team match. AEW always does well with these. Oh man. If only there was a bastard giving off his energy to his teammates, that would have been major. Will Yuta once again is the fall guy for everything. And Jay Whiteo is even struck once again, taking out Wheeler Yuta as Moxley tries to basically murder Adam Copeland again. Claudio tries to save the day, gets his ass kicked for that. And Wheeler Yuta is the fallout guy again, as I honestly expected would happen. But we get an overall pretty good showcasing and the return of Adam Copeland, aka now Cope. I'm good. Okay, imagine I have to write that in the metadata. Jon Moxley, the Death Rider versus the Rated R Superstar. Cope. And hilarity ensues from that. But, yeah. And like I said, this was also the second time in the night. I was hoping this was going to lead to Ricky Starks returning, because I'm pretty sure he does actually blame Edge, Adam Copeland, or Cope for his derailed push after he won the Owen Cup and after CM Punk's termination. Considering there was this big promo segment he conducted with Adam, and then it ended very badly where he got Adam Copeland mad, and then Ricky Starks disappeared afterwards and nothing was the same since. Would have been a nice way to start off the year, bring back Ricky Starks and have him go on a revenge madness spree on Rated FTR and blaming them for all his misfortune because, let's be real, he can't get revenge on Punk, he can't get so he has to take out his best friend's FTR, and he also gets to get revenge on Adam Copeland, aka Cope, aka, oh my god, how many names are we going to keep giving him for? Cope versus Colt. That's an inevitability, I feel. But, yeah. This was an overall good show, charity event. Props to that. I look forward to doing more insane stuff this year. I'm hoping to also get my production video for Jacob Fatu out, but nothing is set in stone yet. With the snow coming up here where I'm at, probably I'll have time, depending on how loud the weather is. But we'll see you all again next time. This was your host, Eric Brown of NRE, hosting the NRE 10-year event, and your creator and host of NRE The Wrestleverse. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out other content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. Follow me everywhere. Follow me on Blue Sky. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you again next time. Peace, take care, and we're going to have a wild ride in 2025.